insights and information aimed at improving their operations. Join me, Chip Flory, weekdays at 10:06 on Central Illinois Ag Station, WHOW.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio this morning is Interim Superintendent of Clinton Schools, Mr. Chuck Nagel. And Mr. Nagel, welcome back to the Big Red Barn. How are you,
Seth.
sir?
It's been a while since I've been out here. Things have changed a little bit.
I hope for the better.
The exterior, always recognizable.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, it's great to be back.
Well, thanks for coming out and catching up with us. And we're following up, of course, the Tuesday night Clinton Board of Education meeting. And I know I've had this conversation with you, but you're very familiar with Clinton schools. This is from what I understand, where you started your education career, and now back as interim superintendent. How does it feel? And how are the first month or so going for you?
So I'll correct you a little bit. It's my second stop. I spent 4 years in Clifton, Illinois.
Okay.
But my formative years, and I would say the bulk of my years as an educator, were here in Clinton.
Okay.
And it's been great. And the start's been great.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has been very welcoming. The people that I work with each and every day, from the teachers to the principals to my staff in the unit office, have been extremely helpful and consummate professionals. They're just really good. I can't say anything but positive things about them.
Mm-hmm.
So we got off to a busy start,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I can almost see the top of that mountain. And we're really anxious to be able to look over the other side here real soon.
Yeah. So let's start with you come to Clinton and right off the bat, it's budget time. You know, I don't know if groundwork was laid on that process or where you had to start, but let's talk budget a little bit. How are things looking?
Yeah. So we'll talk about something exciting like the budget, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we had to do a little investigation, and that's just typical of a new person coming in. Everybody does it a different way.
Mm-hmm.
They have their own process that they follow, and very much leaned on the support within the unit office to get through that. And we were able to piece it together. It's a tentative budget. So like the word says, right, there probably could be maybe some changes as we go down the road. I don't think it will vary much from where we're at. But the wild card here is the state and funding and unfunded mandates and all that good stuff that we superintendents like to talk about.
Sure.
I think the district definitely through this year financially looks like they're in a pretty good spot, not a great spot. We had to borrow a little money for the second year in a row, and that was originally a 3-year plan anyhow, so it was expected. Without those funds, we would probably be in a different situation. So we'll use that to get us along and through. And then the hope is that after I get a little bit more entrenched in the whole situation, understand the big picture, I feel like one of my jobs is to make some recommendations to the board, long-term fixes, some choices they might have, et cetera.
Sure. Do you feel like the way, just kind of observing from last night, just the way you spoke, it felt like you're very comfortable with budgeting and managing district money and that sort of thing. And obviously that's the role of the superintendent, but would you say that's kind of your bread and butter as a school leader?
So I don't know if I would say it's my bread and butter necessarily. I'm very comfortable with doing it. I've done it for a long time, and I've always tried to not do those things or anything that falls under that umbrella in a silo. So we all come together and we all share our knowledge and try to just bounce ideas off each other. In this case, it would be mostly the unit office staff.
Okay.
I found that to be very productive, and the different opinions really help, right? So my other thought on that, Seth, would be that as a superintendent, I know that a lot of times the superintendent's pigeonholed into one area or another. So I've been in this position where I've had a CFO, a chief financial officer, and then I handle assessment, curriculum, and instruction. And I've been the other way around, that I've been in a situation where I've done it all. So ideally, I think the superintendent should have kind of a broad look at all that and ability maybe with some help to be able to deal with all the functioning of the district or any school system.
Sure. Gotcha. You mentioned the district had to borrow money. Was there a portion of the budget that was underfunded, or was it just the budget in general was underfunded?
Yeah. So let me make it clear that by borrowing this money, tax rates will not go up. We actually borrow. It's hard to describe, but we borrow money from ourselves in bonds, and then we will buy the bonds, and we will get the interest. Typically, what you do is you buy bonds, and somebody else buys them from you, and then you pay them interest. So it's a unique little situation. It's my first time through with these type of bonds. I'm sorry, I forgot the second part.
No, that's okay. You said the budget was underfunded. Was there an area that was underfunded?
So the way I would describe that to everybody is that we appear to have monies, but they're just in the wrong buckets. So the biggest bucket for any school system is what we call Fund 10, and we have a very low capped rate in that fund. That money could be used for anything. The other funds have some restrictions attached to them. So if we could freely move that money around, we would be in great shape in Fund 10, but we don't have that to our availability. So borrowing this money kind of bails us out of that fund, simply put.
Yeah. But you said in a few years, and this may be past your service time in Clinton as the interim, but you mentioned in a few years, the district could be back in better shape. What's coming up in a couple of years that would turn around?
Absolutely. Very optimistic about that. Well, we always have the plant out there, and the plant feeds the municipalities, the organizations within. That's not changed since I was here 40 years ago. And there may be, I have no information, so I'm just speaking off the cuff. There may be some changes at the plant that may affect our tax base, driving more revenue into the schools. I think that the board and I and others have to have just an honest conversation about where we could cut back, maybe do a little trimming. What would be a plan that's in the best interest of continuing quality instruction in Clinton, Illinois. We don't want to cut off our nose to spite our face. So that we have a little leeway right now, but I think it's a conversation that the board's expecting us to have before I leave. Just another set of eyes. Let's put it that way.
By the way, should I be calling you Dr. Nagel?
I am a doctor. I cannot perform surgery, though. So if you go down, I can do CPR, but if you go down, Seth, I can't.
Well, I apologize. I've been busting rank on you here this morning, so forgive me. So with that, again, Dr. Chuck Nagel, our guest in studio today, he's the interim superintendent of Clinton Schools. We follow up the Tuesday night Clinton Board of Education meeting. There was also a presentation Mr. King presented about working cash bonds. Is that what you referenced when you talked about, borrowing from bonds and all those things?
That was exactly his presentation.
So can you give us kind of just a brief overview of what he had to say?
I'm not a great expert on this. I'm learning it as I go too. Like I say, this is kind of a new form of working cash bonds than what I've been used to. But Kendall's been a great support, and this is something the board and the past administration started last year with the idea, I believe, of going 3 or 4 years out. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. I almost call it a short-term borrowing plan to get us to where we need to be. And understand that we're not unique in financial concerns. Lots and lots of districts are in that situation. But I would feel horrible if I left this year and didn't give my opinion of what I see. And nothing's been done wrong. I don't believe anything's been done wrong. It's just, like I say, it's the caps we have on certain funds and where the money has gone based on the rules.
Fair enough. Very good. Very good. Now, to kind of wrap up this conversation, Dr. Nagel, I know the September board meeting was moved because you have to have this budget on file for 30 days. And in September, you, of course, make it effective, that sort of thing. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah. So the rules, the statute's laid out pretty simply. And you have a tentative budget hearing, which is what we had last night. Superintendent, somebody presents, the board asks their questions about the tentative budget. No questions. Then it sits on what we call the table for 30 days in a district office, unit office. Anybody can go there and review it. There's a summary page and then some detail, not the whole budget form is 108 pages. A lot of it's things that the state just wants to see. So they can come for 30 days. And at the end of that 30 days, there has to be 30 days between those two meetings. Then we'll convene again, and it'll be considered the final budget hearing. And again, if there's any changes, additions, whatever, I'll present those to the board, and the board will vote to approve it.
Very good. Well, on that note, sir, did I miss anything? Budget bonds we didn't touch on? You want to put out there for us?
Hopefully next month I'll have a little more exciting conversation for you, Seth. But I do appreciate you having me.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'll tell you what, sir, let's break and come back with some more. Again, Dr. Chuck Nagel, he is the interim superintendent of Clinton Schools, my guest in studio. More to come with Mr. Nagel on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Wednesday. I'm Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network. Corn, beans, and Chicago wheat all starting the day in the green. September corn opening 505 3/4, up 5 1/4. December corn up 4 3/4, 528 1/4. March corn 542 3/4, up 4 1/4. September beans 1234 3/4, up 6 3/4. November beans up a nickel, 1242 3/4. January beans 1257 1/4, up a nickel. September Chicago wheat 701 1/4, up 15 3/4. September KC wheat is up 14 1/2, 769. September bean meal 323.80, that's up 350. September bean oil 66.69, down 83 cents. Energy market October Brent crude oil down to $1.95, 86.63. RFD Radio Network.
This is Inside.
Baum Chevrolet Buick offers full transportation options while giving you peace of mind. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. This is what we do every day. We listen to you, give you options for routine maintenance, major mechanical problems, or collision repairs with a staff that's knowledgeable to find the best option for you. Baum Chevrolet Buick, your full-service dealer. See us at baumchevybuick.com right from the start.
Here's Matt Hart, owner of the Hart Media Group in Clinton, talking about continuing to serve the community through new ownership.
Things came together and we reached an agreement to purchase. And as you mentioned, we closed August the 1st. So as August the 1st, Miller Media Group is now Hart Media Group. And we're continuing to serve the people of Clinton and DeWitt County and Monticello and Bloomington and Decatur and everywhere, because we'll just keep connecting people as we've been doing.
The Hart Media Group looks forward to continuing to serve the community for years to come.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio this morning is Dr. Chuck Nagel. He is the interim superintendent of Clinton Schools. By the way, Mr. Nagel, I noticed the last couple of meetings, we've shifted to the high school library for the meetings. Is that going to be a permanent thing, do you think?
I have no idea, Seth.
Oh, okay.
I am of the brain. They tell me where to go and what time to show up. I really didn't have any knowledge. We used to do it other places, but I believe they used to do it at junior high.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure why the switch. It's a little more convenient for the unit office, I think. I don't know.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
You're only talking 100 yards, I suspect. But yeah. I'm comfortable wherever they choose to hold.
Hey, there's comfier chairs in the high school library. There's it feels like maybe a little more space. I'm not positive, but either way, it's a fine venue. I was just kind of thrown off. I had a friend ask me where, and I said junior high library, and then she pulls up the agenda and it says, well, it says high school, and I'm like, doggone it, I guess they're going to the high school. So
the chairs are remarkably more comfortable in the library.
They are, yeah.
So,
they got the the cushions, and you can kick back. So I'm not arguing. I was just thrown off by it. But at any rate, sir, so you mentioned you're about a month in to your interim. Let's kind of go over. You were telling me, and I guess I don't know why I should have remembered this, that interims aren't full-time
Correct.
employees. So
Correct.
do you mind if I ask what your schedule kind of looks
No.
like and what you're, what they've tasked you with, that kind of thing?
Yeah. So the understanding when you take an interim superintendency, at least my perspective on that situation, is you're going to act as superintendent to the full capacity of the job.
Sure.
The also a part of that is that you're not going to work 5 days a week. You're limited by TRS rules to only work 120.
TRS is
Is our retirement system?
Yeah, teacher retirement system.
Yes, sorry, I drew a blank.
That's all right.
So you have 120 days, and as a superintendent, you're a 12-month employee. So generally, what boards do is they say, let's try 2 days a week. I was in a situation, another interim, where I worked 4 days a week for only 3 hours a day. Get really creative with it. I know of situations where some interims have done the first semester, and another interim comes in and does the second semester. Not real excited to think that would work very well, but these are the different ways it's done. So basically my schedule is 2 days a week. Early on, and it hasn't been that long, but the first couple of weeks, a third day snuck in, but always keep an eye on that 120. If you go past that, you jeopardize your annuity, and I don't want to do that.
Sure.
So, but even though I'm not in-house more than 2 days, like every other administrator and teacher and whoever, I'm working 5 days a week and maybe more, because we're all hooked in, right? I mean, you cannot run the job anymore. So
yeah,
and that's fine. I understood that when I took the position. I had experience and knowledge of being an interim before. I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, sure. So I guess I'll ask, I mean, can a district operate with a superintendent only in the building a couple days a week? I mean,
yeah, I don't think, and when I took the job and other jobs that I've applied for that are similar, I've never had a issue, and I don't think the board should have an issue. I'm the chief operating officer, and my signature can be used in a lot of different ways, right? My presence. At the end of the day, what I'm trying to say, the buck stops right with me.
Yeah.
And like I talked about, between the computer and the phone and every other device in the world, I'm only a second away,
sure,
if need be.
Yeah.
And we can scan things, we can send things back and forth. There really isn't a gap. Now, the important key here is the administrators are in place in Clinton, okay? And my administrative assistant, Tracy Donath, and Sharon, and all Missy and Angie and Beth, I don't want to leave anybody out. They're the people that make this possible, right? It's not me as Mr. Superman. It's the fact that they're running the place when I'm not there, and even when I am there, to be honest with you. Their experience, their abilities, the board's in great shape, the community's in great shape.
Yeah. So and you mentioned the administration. I would venture a guess the way they've structured it this year with a curriculum coordinator. Now there's instructional coaches. You've got, I mean, obviously principals at all the buildings. I know Lincoln and Douglas have assistant principals now.
Right.
You've got to feel pretty good, at least that there's leadership in place. You're not having to carry the weight of a lot of these things.
Right. I have had nothing but positive experiences as I go out to visit the buildings and talk to the administration across the board and the staff I've met. So the leadership starts in the classroom, right?
Yeah.
And the citizens of Clinton should feel very fortunate to have such talented people out there. But you're absolutely right, Seth. I have complete confidence in the administrative staff. Things are running very smoothly, and they're helpful to me as a reminder to things that I might not be aware of that traditionally has taken place. Deadlines need to be met, those type of things. So it works 2 days a week only because of the tremendous individuals that are in the district 5 days a week.
Sure. Again, Dr. Chuck Nagel is the interim superintendent of Clinton Schools, our guest in studio today. I know I caught up with you about this about a month ago when we chatted on the phone, and you had just taken the position and those sorts of things. You come to Clinton at a very unique time where, not only is the Board of Education going to be looking for a superintendent full-time, after your 1 year, but also there's leadership positions that need filled. You need a high school principal. You need a high school assistant principal. As far as I know, those are the only two that are looking to be replaced right now. But like that's a big deal, and you would want the superintendent to have a large hand in that process. How do you, whether it's your recommendation, how the Board of Education handles it, how does this process move forward in that search?
Yeah, and we're forgetting that we're still looking for a board position to be
And
filled.
there's a board position too. Yeah, we
and,
should
you
talk
know,
about that in a second.
And I can't leave this interview without telling you how impressed I am with the Board of Education and their desire to make sure that every kid gets the best education out there, as well as their interactions with the community, etc. So the process itself, been down this road many times. Of course, you put a feeler out that the vacancy is available, and then you start gathering. And you gather as much information as you can, be it on paper, by talking to people, who knows who's had experience here. As you go through that first step of filtering out, then it's my belief that you put together a committee of people that have a vested interest and have some knowledge in what it takes to fulfill those positions. Go through the interviews. It's a pretty typical job, filling a job opening.
Okay.
And then at the end of the day, we come down with a recommendation from the Board of Education, and it's their decision to be made. So what's unique about this may be, and you're correct, those are the only two positions I know that are open right now, principal, assistant principal at the high school, is we may be able to get a twofer here, because as you go through that process for principals, there may be somebody that would also be interested
In
kind
the
of
assistant
as,
principal.
moving
Yeah.
up as assistant principal. We'll see. But it's pretty competitive right now. There's just not a whole lot of people out there going into administration. But Clinton has so much to offer. I think we'll probably garner a pretty good pool.
Sure. How about that open board position? What's the latest there?
So other than last night, I thought we had one candidate, and the candidate chose not to run for the board. So we'll repost
Okay.
and see what happens.
How does that work with that 30? Is it 30 days to fill that position?
Yeah, I'm not really up to snuff on the rules and regs with that, but I believe it is 30 days to try to fill that position. But of course, by contacting the ROE, I'm sure that could be extended until we get, and the board does an appointment now. So the board could not, if they chose not to go through a big lengthy process, they could appoint based on somebody that shows interest.
Sure.
And it has to be a board position filled representing that area of our school community.
Gotcha.
So
Sure.
Hopefully somebody will come forward that wants to work with the schools, and we'd appreciate it.
Very good. Well, on that note, Mr. Nagel, I got to let you go, my friend. Thanks for coming out this morning. Always good to see you.
Thanks for having me, sir.
Dr. Chuck Nagel, Interim Superintendent of Clinton Schools, our guest. Network News is now.